Hi, Chris Mason again, co-owner of AtLarge Nutrition. I'd like to take some time and talk about one of our most unique and better selling products. It's called ETS. And I want to talk about ETS on this video because I think the product is one that requires a degree of explanation so that people understand exactly what it will do for them or what its purpose is. ETS is an acronym, Extreme Training Support. And that's exactly what the product does. It supports intense training, whether it's strength training, something along the lines of CrossFit, which is a hybrid type of training style where you can train for both aerobic and anaerobic performance. You name it. Extreme endurance, the gamut. What ETS has is a combination of ingredients that are synergistic in effect. It's a combination of one very unique ingredient, which is called microlactin. It's very unique milk protein. It's actually created via a process where they stimulate the immune system in cows, and then they take the milk, which is created by these cows with these stimulated immune systems. You get antigens to the antibodies. They concentrate that via a proprietary process, and voila, you have microlactin. Microlactin is very unique in that it has several different effects. The two major effects that are of benefit to hard training individuals are A, it's got an anti-inflammatory component, and B, a recovery component. And that recovery component directly correlates to there's something called creatine kinase or CK levels. Don't confuse that with the supplement creatine. CK levels are generally considered to be a marker of muscle damage. In other words, when you train intensely, your muscles release CK into the blood. You get a spike in their levels, which eventually returns back to baseline. With microlactin, with the use of microlactin, that CK level returns to baseline much more quickly than without, which indicates one of two things: either A, a protective effect, in other words, it helps protect the muscle against extreme damage, or B, it enhances the recovery of the muscle after said damage. Either of which effect, through our empirical evidence with a lot of athletes, works. In other words, whichever it is, whichever mechanism it is, it works. And frankly, it's not exactly the science, they're not 100% on which it is. Strictly that it definitively reduces those CK levels back to baseline much more quickly. Okay, so the product has microlactin, has vitamins C and E, and then zinc and magnesium. The C, E, zinc, and magnesium essentially are all included because they support the microlactin. They help support its effects. Zinc and magnesium, as a lot of people know, can help with sleep. Zinc levels and magnesium levels can help with strength. Probably not via a direct ergogenic effect, but rather probably an effect of strength training or intense training period can reduce zinc levels, and therefore supplementing with it gets you back to baseline. Anyway, without getting into too much of the science, the reason for their inclusion is they're all supportive of that main ingredient and enhance its effects. So bottom line is, if you train hard and you take this product, you're going to see numerous benefits. One, you're going to recover more quickly. Two, that anti-inflammatory component, minor joint pain that you experience, and anybody that trains hard, whether it's powerlifters, bodybuilders, strongman, CrossFitters, you name it. Anybody that does intense training regularly is going to get some joint pain, etc. And this product definitively can help. Now, it doesn't rejuvenate or repair the joint, but what it does do is it helps reduce inflammation and therefore pain involved. And it's quite effective at that. In fact, it can be more effective than several other of the common joint care supplements. And they've done studies regarding that, so there's science behind that. The recovery aspect is, in my opinion, probably the number one. I mean, the joint, it really is a big deal because if your joints are hurting, it really can compromise your ability to train hard, especially with weights. But the recovery aspect is the number one. Overtraining is a very real phenomenon, and there's not more than two, but there's several kinds of overtraining. Two of the main ones being via nervous system, neural overtraining, the other being skeletal muscular overtraining. And bottom line is, if you're not recovering, or let me rephrase it, the better that you're able to recover, the harder you can train more often, And like my friend Louis Simmons will say, the person that trains, lifts harder or heavier more often and recovers wins. So that's really the genesis, the reason we created this product. That's exactly why I created the product. We say we. In this particular case, I formulated it. Not that that means anything, other than I definitely had a goal in mind, and I feel like this product really gets to that goal. And you know, there's a lot of recovery type products in the market, but there's very few that are direct ergogens like that. That really, if you know, protein and carbohydrates after training can help recovery. They can help stimulate protein synthesis, etc. So that's a definitive good thing, and you of course want to do that, as we've discussed in other videos. But there's very, very few products out there that have the ability to have that direct effect in terms of improving recovery that ETS does. So I'm not going to drone on any longer. What I would tell you is this: if you're a hard training individual, and I don't care, you know, kind of the discipline, if you train kind of, I don't want to say the word balls, we'll say balls to the wall on a regular basis, give this product a try. I firmly believe that you will be very glad you did. Oh, and let me say, there's one other thing I wanted to say about this product. You know, a lot of companies, here's what happens. A lot of companies take ineffective ingredients or underdosed ingredients, and then they mask that with a whole bunch of stimulants. And unfortunate or uninformed individuals take said products, and they go, you know, they take the product and they get all jacked up from the caffeine or whatever other stimulants are being used, and they think that that is making them faster, stronger, or whatever. You know, there may be some mild ergogenic benefit to heavy stimulants, but nothing that's going to really, you know, nothing long-term in your training. So, you know, my point of this is that people are now kind of trained by the marketplace that if they don't get this incredibly buzzed or jacked feeling when they take something, that they're not that it's not working. Well, ETS has zero stimulants in it, again by design, none. That's nothing to do with it. ETS, we'll call it kind of a stealth supplement in that sense. You take it over the course, it takes about 4 to 5 days for it to build up in your system. Once it kicks in, you'll see a difference. And even more poignantly, people who will say to us, well, after I quit taking it, that's when I really saw the difference it made. Because again, it builds up in your system, so it takes a little while for it to kick in. There's no stimulating effect. So I think in a way it kind of sneaks up on people, and they don't realize it's the old, you never knew what you had until you lost it. And so anyway, try the product. It's amazing. I really think you'll like it. And thanks so much for taking the time to listen to this. Have a good night.